Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my videos, my name is Eva. In today's video, I wanted to take you guys on a tour of everything that I have going on in the garden. First, I'm going to show you what I have going on the porch because I have a few plants on the porch, and then we're going to go to this side over here, and then we're going to finish off with everything that I have going on this side. Before we get started, I just wanted to kind of let you guys know that there's a couple of differences. You're going to notice the differences between the plants on this side of the garden and on this side of the garden, and that's because this garden bed is brand new. We just built this this spring, and so the soil in here is a lot better quality because I've learned a lot about the soil quality since last year. And so in here I have a really good mixture of soil, and then this garden bed over here is from last spring, and the soil in here, it's not terrible, but it's not great either. So over the course of like the next couple of months, as everything grows and matures, you'll definitely see some differences between these two. And then finally over here in the corner, this is where this is actually the oldest bed. This is from 3 summers ago now, and that was before I knew anything about soil or anything about growing things. So it's really in bad shape, and that's why I'm actually not even going to be planting anything in this little section here. I'm just going to leave the corn and the peas to just kind of do their thing in here. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to start off by showing you the things that I have growing on the porch. We're going to start off with the potatoes up here. They are looking really good. I actually planted them in my last video if you haven't seen that already, and they're looking really good. The only thing is that this one over here has a lot of missing leaves because my son, who is 2 years old, has been coming over here and kind of just doing some damage on the leaves, but they're growing back, and I'm not too worried about the leaves because they can always grow back. But this is an overview of the potatoes. In here I have my carrots, and I had a lot more carrots to begin with, but my son has been getting in here. He has small hands, and he's able to fit his whole hand through these cages. That's why this whole section is missing, and this section here he has a harder time getting into, so he hasn't destroyed these ones. So even if I just get a few carrots, I'll be happy. But that's what the carrots are looking like. Here are the cucumbers. They're still refusing to grow, and I think part of the reason why is because the soil that I have in the containers in here is really terrible quality. It's actually the same soil that I have growing over there in the corner where the peas and the corn buckets are. That's the same soil that I just dug up and I put in these containers, and so I figure that if they're not growing in here, if I had transferred them, I don't think they would have grown, or if maybe they had, they just wouldn't have been the greatest. So I'm just gonna skip out on growing cucumbers this year, which I'm kind of disappointed in, but not really, because last year I had a really good harvest of cucumbers, and so once I amend the soil out there, I will hopefully next year I'll have really good cucumbers. So finally on the deck here I have the Swiss chard. These bigger ones back here are from the seed starting trays that I had originally, like way back in March, and now that I have them in better soil, they're doing really good. And this soil is actually from the newer beds. I'll show you in a second when I go over there, but they're doing really good. And then I have a few more over here, which these are the ones that I direct sowed into these containers because my son again got in here and he destroyed some of them, so I had to replant more so that they could just grow really well. And then over here I have the ones that I direct sowed into these pots, and they're also looking really good. Like this one is really big, which is great because that means I'll have harvest soon enough, and they're almost actually I feel like they're gonna end up being all the same size when they've grown to maturity. So these are the Swiss chard. First things first, I'm going to show you the potatoes. In my last video I planted the potatoes in the crates, and I had a lot of leftover potatoes, so I've been sneaking them in different places in the garden. So I have one over here, and then I have another one over here, and then over here all these plants are all my pepper plants. I never updated you guys on the pepper plants because I planted them after I made my latest video, but here they are. They're doing okay. I thought they would be a lot bigger by this time, but I was late in transferring them out of the seed starting pots, so this is all that they've grown. but I'm happy with them so far. None of them have died, so that's another positive thing, and they're not getting eaten by the birds, which is also a positive. Over here I have the cherry tomatoes. These are doing really good. They all survived. I did not think that they were all gonna survive, and they all did, and they're looking really good. The soil mixture that I have in here is a lot better than the soil that I have in that one and also in here. So I think that's why they've just kind of taken off, because I feel like in my last video you really couldn't even see them. They were so tiny, but they're looking a lot better now, and I'm really happy with them. Over here I have the collard greens. These are looking really good. Excuse that one over there. I actually transplanted it from over here where it originally was, and I brought it over here, and I guess in the process of transferring it out of there I damaged the leaves, but it looks like it's gonna survive. I also replaced this one because these two over here, the two little ones, were just not growing, and so I thought I would bring these over here to kind of like, you know, make this area look a little bit better. But they look like they're gonna grow, and maybe in the next couple of weeks they'll be, you know, the same size as these other ones over here. So here are the corn and the peas. The corn are doing really good. They're actually starting to flower, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to zoom you guys enough for you guys to see, but look at that right there. You can see some of the flowering starting to happen. And then in here I also have the peas, which have been flowering now for a while, and I have some pea pods, so I should be harvesting the peas in the next couple of weeks or so. I should start harvesting them. And then over here I also have a potato plant. Sorry, my camera work is not great, but I have some potatoes in here. I figured because I had some leftover space from where all the peas got uprooted, I would plant a potato plant in there, and it's doing really good. Here's a closer look at the pea pods. They're doing really good. I'm really happy with them. I wish I had more plants in here, but you know, that didn't happen. But you can see, like over here, I have a lot more flowers and I have a lot more pods, so I should be harvesting them pretty soon. And then in here is where I was telling you that the corn was starting to flower. I don't know if you guys can see in there, but we are starting to see some flowering of the corn, which is really exciting. So over here I have some Swiss chard that I direct sowed into the garden beds. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see it, but I did plant some and they are starting to do well. But for some weird reason, the birds are able to get in here, and I've seen a few birds. I've caught them on camera a few times. They're still able to get in because I have down there at the bottom I have some openings, and they're able to get in and they're able to take out some of the Swiss chard. But overall, some of them have survived, but I think from now on, after this year, I will only be planting them in the containers because they seem to be doing the best in the containers. And over here, I have the kale. The kale is doing really good. It actually looks like I can start harvesting it now. I can also harvest the kale that's over there too, but I think I'm going to give it a few more, maybe like 2 more weeks until I start harvesting the kale. And then here are the peas that I direct sowed into the ground, all over here. They started trellising all the way up and they're looking really good. I also have some on this side over here. And then back there I have some potatoes, because I told you guys I've been trying to like sneak them into all different types of places. I put them in these containers over here. Let me actually go this way so you guys can get a better look. So I have one in here, one in here, and then I have 4 in here, and these are looking amazing. And I also have the netting over them just in case. I didn't know whether the birds were going to try and get to them or not, so that's what they're looking like. And then over here I have a kale plant, but it's getting destroyed by slugs. I have seen a few slugs here and there, and because the birds they haven't come to this side yet. I haven't seen them over here. I'm pretty sure it's the slugs, because I've also seen the slugs on the kale plants in here. So that's what this area is looking like. So that is everything that I have going on in my garden right now. I hope that you guys have enjoyed kind of seeing the progress of everything, and you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.